So I don't have a fancy intro for this video, so I guess I'm just going to get into it. Okay. So as a coach, you're probably looking to find your ideal clients, right? You're probably looking to find those ideal clients because you want to get more clients. So you're probably looking for people who have the money to pay you. They're willing to put in the work. They're committed. They actually want to work with you. They're not going to give you objections on sales calls, right? So you just want to get more clients, right? And you want the easy way, right? So this is what you want. And the problem is not what you think it is, because most people are asking about what is the strategy to find ideal clients, like what tool do you use, what AI automation do you use, like what software do you use, like do you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, what keywords do you use. So they're always worried about how do I find my ideal client, like where do I find them, where do they spend their time on the internet, what tool do I use, right? How do I qualify them? They always think and obsess about this. But the reality is that this is not the problem. So you're focusing on the wrong problem. You're focusing on how to find ideal client, what techniques, what AI automation to use to find ideal clients. But in fact, that is not your problem. The problem is your offer and how you present yourself. And before you click, to another video, it's like, my offer is good. Like, just listen up, and I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show you with real life examples why your offer is messing everything up. So let's get into it. When it comes to the offer, there are different levels to it. So basically, you have level 1 where most people are, and if you are at level 1, you're barely going to get any clients. You're going to have a really hard time to get clients, right? If you are at level 2, maybe you're getting a client here, a client there. It's not too bad, but it's not too good either, right? And then we have level 3, and if you are at level 3, my guy, you're absolutely getting clients. You're absolutely crushing it, okay? And I'm going to explain what each of these levels are. But let's get started with level 1. This is where most coaching consultants are, okay? So let's get into it. This is the problem. So a lot of times coaches, the way they present their offer and the way they advertise themselves, they are so broad that they don't even have an ideal client. So what I mean by that is you probably in your mind, you do have an ideal client. Like you're thinking, okay, well, my ideal client, they're going to have the money to pay me, right? Like whatever. They have this trait, they have this characteristic, they're going to put in the work, they're going to follow my advice, they're not going to complain too much, blah, blah, blah. So in your mind, you probably know who your ideal client is. But when it comes to you advertising yourself, right? Trying to get clients, making offers, you are not specific enough, and you are so broad that you don't even have an ideal client when you're advertising yourself, even though in your mind you probably have an idea of who your ideal client is. So this is what happens, okay? This is what happens with most coaches. So most coaches get into business because they want to make money, they want to have their own business, but because they want to help other people to solve a problem that they're really good at solving. So let me give you a real life example. Let's just say that someone was overweight, right? Was overweight, like whatever, when they were young or whatever, and so they educated, right? They got a lot of education around. They watched a lot of videos, read books, took courses, blah blah blah, and somehow they figured out how to actually lose weight. So they were overweight and they figured out by themselves how to lose weight. Okay, great. So now they're in shape. Now they have a six-pack. Now they're good, right? Now, how it usually goes is one day they're thinking, I want to start a business. I want to become a coach. I want to help other people. I want to make more money and all that good stuff, right? So I'm going to become a coach. So, because I'm really good at helping people lose weight, I'm going to become a fitness coach or like a weight loss coach. Boom. This is my business. This is what I do. I'm a weight loss coach. I'm a fitness coach. I'm going to help people lose weight. Okay, great. So they started a business, and this is how they advertise themselves. And this is the first level that I was talking about. This is where most people are. Now, I'm going to show you a practical example with a leadership coach, right? So let's just say that whatever, you are a leader, manager at a big company, maybe like at Apple, blah, 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 or stuff like that. And then you want to help other businesses that have leadership issues. So what most people are going to do is, again, they're going to call themselves a leadership coach. I'm a leadership coach. I help businesses with whatever, leadership coaching. So automatically, when you say that you are a leadership coach, you can serve a gazillion different markets, a gazillion different types of clients, right? So for example, if you're a leadership coach, you can probably help dental practices, law firms, manufacturing businesses, private schools, accounting firms, architecture firms, engineering firms, construction companies, property management companies, IT services, software companies, a gazillion of them. And I haven't even listed all of them. The list probably goes on and on and on and on, okay? So by definition, by you just calling yourself a leadership coach or whatever it is, you have 100 plus probably different clients that you could potentially serve with your service. So when you're complaining or when you're thinking like, I cannot find my ideal client, how do I find my ideal client? Again, the problem is not the strategy that you're using. The problem is how you're advertising yourself. Because, for example, if you say you're a leadership coach and you want to work with IT services, well, you can help 100 different other clients. And so maybe you get attention, you get in front of IT services, but they just don't resonate because it's just general leadership coach. They can get this from anywhere, right? From anyone else. So this is the problem. You are so broad when you're marketing, when you're advertising yourself, that you don't even have an ideal client, even though you want to attract a specific client. So the first step for you is to just pick one market to serve. Is to just pick one, just stick to one. Don't try to serve a bunch of different people, right? Saying that, oh, whatever, I can help 100 different businesses. Okay, well, that's great. You can probably help 100 different businesses, but just stick to one. Okay, so just pick construction companies, just pick IT services, just pick like whatever it is, right? Whatever you want, but you just need to stick to one market, because again, that's the problem. You're saying that you're a leadership coach, but this is so broad, okay, that you can literally help everyone and anyone, right? Any type of business. So this is the first problem. But this comes down to how you advertise yourself. And when I say advertise yourself, I'm not just talking about your website, your LinkedIn profile, or your LinkedIn bio, or like Instagram bio, or whatever it is. I'm talking about the offer that you're actually making to people. How do you present yourself out there? The offer is going to influence everything. So let me show you an example, right, of what a profile looks like. And again, this is not just about the LinkedIn profile, okay? It's about everything, like the emails that you send, the DMs that you send, the newsletter, the YouTube videos, whatever it is, like the VSLs that you record, the webinars, like everything. Offer influences everything. So to show you an example, leadership coach and trainer. Again, like this profile, this is a real person, right, on LinkedIn. This person can help a gazillion different types of businesses, right? And this is what they struggle because they're not specific enough to attract anyone. So this is level one. This is where most coaches and consultants are. They call themselves whatever it is, career coach, right? Whatever it is, right? There are hundreds of different types of coaches, right? It's the same problem. But they are so broad that they can help so many different people with so many different problems that they don't attract anyone, okay? So that is the first problem. This is level one. And again, if you're a level one, you're probably going to be struggling a lot to get clients from the cold market, right? So like brand new clients, to convert a stranger into a paying client. Now, this is level one, okay? So what you need to do with this is, first of all, pick one specific type of company that you want to help with this example, but mostly like one specific market, and just stick to it and create your offer on a specific market. That's level one. Let's talk about level two. So level two is, you're probably differentiating yourself a little bit. Like you're probably saying, well, X Apple leader or X KPMG leader. I've worked with Google. I've worked with Microsoft. I've done whatever. I have my process. Like, you probably do have a little bit of hint of differentiation, or maybe even you are, specialized in one type of business, right? Just to go with the leadership coach example, maybe you're specialized in a type of business. Like I'm a leadership coach for law firms. Okay, well, that's great. You are one level ahead, right? You're level two in this case. The problem is still going to be the fact that you're selling a commodity. So what do I mean by that? Okay, let's just say that, okay, you picked law firms, right? You're ex-Google, ex-KPMG, whatever. You pick law firms, and that you said you're a leadership coach for law firms. That is great. The problem is that you're selling a commodity because there are 100 different, 100 other coaches that are also leadership coaches for law firms. So you are competing against them, and because the way you present yourself is a leadership coach for law firms, ex-Google, ex-whatever, right? You have a little bit of differentiation there. The problem still is that from your prospect's perspective, they can get a similar service or pretty much the same service from other people as well. And so in your prospect's mind, from their perspective, if they can get the same service, promising the same things, trying to solve the same problems, more or less, right? It's going to be more or less the same thing. If they can get that from other people and it's the same thing, well, why not just pick the cheapest thing if it's going to be the same service, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? And I'm just going to give you a real life example, right? So they have lots of options. So like if you look at this photo right here, okay? So, there are different bottles of water. Yeah, this one has a green, like, whatever. This one is green, like a green wrapping, like color, whatever. This is blue. This is a different, like, shade of blue, whatever, like a different design. It's still water, like it is a little bit different, but in the end, it's still a bottle of water. So if, like, if I'm looking at this, like, if you're not looking for something specific, like, I don't know, like concentration of minerals or vitamins or whatever it is, I'm probably going to pick the cheapest bottle of water because it's the same thing, right? So especially if I look at the bottle of water and I perceive that it's literally the same water, it's just different wrapping and different pricing. Especially if I look at it this way, I am personally going to pick the cheapest bottle of water. It doesn't make any sense for me to pay more money for the same product, for the same service. So I'm just going to pick the cheapest one. I'm going to look around and see which one is the cheapest one because I want to be, like, cost efficient. I want to be as efficient as possible. And this is what happens to your business as well. Like, yeah, you do probably stand out a little bit. Like, you do probably have, like, a different approach, a little bit, like a different angle, right? You use AI, you use some buzzwords, you have, like, different experience, but more or less, I still see it as the same service. So I'm just going to pick the cheapest one. This is what happens with most coaches and consultants, and actually every single coach consultant at level 2. So the thing here is, what you need to do is you need to promise a unique result and be hyper specific. Okay, so this means not only saying I'm a leadership coach for law firms, but I am, and this is just a random example, I'm not saying that this is what you need to do if you're a leadership coach for law firms or whatever, but for example, saying something like, I'm a leadership coach for law firms and I help law firms, like, whatever, reduce churn by 90% and whatever, increase their profit margin by 20%. It's a very specific promise, okay? So automatically, I stand out from all of the other, like, leadership coaches for law firms. Okay, so now we're going into a different level because we're promising a unique result, a specific result. And by the way, for the spiritual coaches out there, like maybe like relationship coaches, like those coaches are not selling like a tangible, numbers-based financial service or whatever. You still need to have a specific promise. Okay, it still needs to be tangible. Like, for example, if you're a relationship coach, don't just say you're a relationship coach for men. Like offer what they want. If they're looking to find their ideal partner, right, in the next year, well, that's your promise. I'm going to help you find your dream woman, ideal partner in the next year. But you need a specific promise. You don't just want to say I'm a relationship coach for men and that's it, right? So you're going to the next level. You're becoming, like, you're being more specific, right, with your promises, with what you are saying. So let me give you an example, right? Besides just a bottle of water, let me give you an example of real life, like, coaches, and you can find them on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So I apologize if you're on this list and you're watching this video. You have free advice right here. But anyway, so I looked up leadership coach on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So these are the results that we can find. Transformational leadership coach and founder, leadership and executive coach, certified executive leadership coach, mentor, team coaching, self-leadership mentoring coach, leadership business AI transformation consultant. Like, when you look at this, they all kind of look the same, right? I'm not talking about their profile pictures or their name, but in terms of the service that they're offering, it pretty much all looks the same, right? Like a leadership coach, leadership consulting, blah, blah, blah. Maybe some people are going to have like AI, right? This is when I said, like, this is level 2, like, yeah, AI, like self-leadership, sounds a bit different, but more or less, it kind of looks like it's the same service. This is the problem. And these are not the only results, by the way. Like, there are thousands of leadership coaches, and like there are like millions of other coaches as well. So like, people, when they're going to look at you potentially working with you, they are going to see thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of other people, and they perceive, okay, well, it's more or less the same service, right? They more or less offer the same type of service. It's pretty much the same. So this is level 2. So then again, what am I going to do, right? If I want to pick up, like, if I need help with leadership services, leadership coaching, blah, 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 you know what? I'm probably going to pick the cheapest one. right? Like, again, because from my perspective, it's more or less the same service. I might as well just pick the cheapest one. I don't want to spend more money for the same product. I don't want to overpay. So this is what I'm going to do. So this is the problem. You're going to get shopped around, right? Like, just people are going to be looking for the cheapest prices. And this is why on sales calls, you're getting objections like, well, this is a bit too expensive, or I don't have the money. Like, these just could be like smokescreen objections, like usually about the money, it's expensive, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's why you're getting it, because people perceive that you're selling the same stuff, but they think they can probably get it from somewhere else for a different price, even though your service might be genuinely unique. You might have your unique approach, but if you're not getting that to the surface, if you're not showing it in the front end of your marketing, then people are going to see this and they're just going to pick the lowest price. So this is level 2. Maybe you have a little bit of differentiation, right? But people are still going to shop around. They're still going to give you price objections. Now, let's go to level 3, and I can say this, if you are at level 3, you are going to make a lot of money and you're absolutely not going to have any issues with getting clients ever. So level 3, this comes down to having a unique mechanism, and I'm going to explain what that is, and a methodology, a unique methodology of delivering a specific result. And this is when you actually stand out and people cannot compare you to competitors, cannot shop around. They just cannot do it because you are completely unique. Now, let me give you a real life example. So, Agora Financial. Agora Financial is a billion-dollar company, $1.4 billion company. And essentially what they do is they are a financial publishing company. So what they do is they sell financial newsletters. It's basically an email that you're going to receive either every week or maybe every day or every other day. You're going to receive emails with tips and insights on what to invest in, how to invest, and all that good stuff, right? So you're going to receive tips so they can invest in stocks or whatever it is, and of course you can make more money. So fundamentally, this company, Agora Financial, they sell a commodity. Why is that? Well, that's because you can you can subscribe to financial newsletters, and there are thousands of different financial newsletters. Like, they're not the only one on the market who are selling financial newsletters. There are a gazillion different companies who sell financial newsletters to people. So they're selling a commodity because you can get financial newsletters from like a bunch of different places and maybe for even cheaper. Fundamentally, they sell a commodity. But guess what? The way they advertise themselves is completely unique because they have a unique mechanism and a unique methodology of delivering a specific result. And they actually stand out. They're completely unique. And this is why they make a shite ton of money, right? They make billions of dollars and whatever, right? So let me show you some examples of how they advertise themselves out there. How do they actually present themselves out there? Again, considering that they sell a commodity, okay? Considering that they sell something that other people offer as well. It's saturated, right? So this is going to apply to you as well. So let me zoom in, okay? So this is the promotion for them to sell their financial newsletter. So, right, this is a sales letter, and then it says something like, okay, I'm done with stocks, so are you. America's #1 stock analyst says, I'm done with stocks, so are you. After 8 years of secrecy, right, this person is revealing a new way to make money in America, up to $11,000 a week, right? You see it, it's a specific promise, up to $11,000 a week, without touching a single stock or stock option again. This is unique, right? Because it's like, it kind of goes against the grain. Like, I'm done with stocks, when like you would expect from a financial newsletter to say, invest in this stock or whatever. They go completely 180, like against the grain, and they say like, I'm done with stocks. Like, this is what is he talking about? And you can make up to $11,000 a week. It's a very specific promise, up to $11,000 a week. And we also have a time frame. Like, it's a super specific promise. It's not just, I help you make more money. No, it's $11,000 a week without touching a single stock or option again. And then it goes into the newsletter, right, as pretty much the introduction of the newsletter. But then, boom, this is the specific promise. Okay, just to break it down to you, going back to what I said. So specific promise, very specific result. And then it's also that unique mechanism and the methodology, right? So let me show you, okay? So when we go to the unique methodology, and today I'm going to show you something that could make you a millionaire many times over, just like me. Bold promise. It's this algorithm that you see on your screen now. So boom, this is the unique mechanism. So basically, what is the unique mechanism? The unique mechanism is you make a promise, right? You make a specific promise. I'm going to help you make up to 11,000 a week, but then you got to back it up. You need to prove to people how you're actually going to help them do that. Like, what is your secret sauce? Essentially, what is your method of actually helping me do that? Like, what do you do? How can you guarantee? How can you promise me that I'm going to make 11,000 a week? This is the unique mechanism. So in this case, the unique mechanism is a very, very complex algorithm that he created by getting help from a PhD physicist and a nuclear engineer, right? They helped him create it, and it took them 8 long years. It took them 8 years, and this algorithm can predict the future of the stock market 7 days in advance, and is 90% accurate, right? So this is absolutely insane. So he created an algorithm that predicts like how the stock market is going to go, the future of the stock market in 7 days in advance, and he created this unique algorithm with the help from a PhD physicist and a nuclear engineer. Like, this is completely unique, right? I haven't seen something like this before. So this is definitely a unique mechanism, right? Like, this is the secret sauce because of this algorithm that he's been creating for 80 years with a PhD physicist and a nuclear engineer, and it predicts the future with 93% accuracy. Because, like, thanks to this algorithm, he can help you make $11,000 every single week. So as you can see, we have a specific promise right here, 11,000 every single week, and then this promise is doable because of the unique mechanism. So he justifies, why is it that I can promise you to make 11,000 per week, right? It's because of this unique mechanism, right? This is my secret sauce. This is I'm going to help you do that. So it builds up credibility, but it also helps you to stand out, right? Because, like, I haven't seen this before. This is completely unique. I cannot compare this with any other financial newsletter, right? I cannot compare this because it's completely unique. And I'm going to show you some more examples as well. But the key point is, what you need to understand is, again, this promotion right here is selling a financial newsletter. So it's basically an email where you're going to receive in your inbox like every single week or whatever, with tips about how to invest into stocks and stuff like that, or whatever. Where in this promotion do you see subscribe to our financial newsletter to receive investing tips every single week? Where in this newsletter do you see that? I don't see that anywhere. I see completely unique. I see algorithms, numbers, specific promises. And again, going back to it, this is $1 billion company. So it's fair to say that they're pretty successful. They're not doing too bad, right? Let me show you another example. And again, this is the same product, right? Not necessarily the exact same newsletter, but this is also selling a financial newsletter. So more or less, if you look at the core of the product, like what they actually sell, it's pretty much like the same thing. It's another financial newsletter. So essentially it's a commodity, but look at how they're promoting it, right? Trump bonus checks. Look at this. Okay, let's take a look. Let's zoom in a little bit. So hardworking Americans are screaming thank you to President Trump as some collect checks for $4,280, super specific, right? $6,344, and even an exceptional $8,181 per month. So as you can see, this is a specific promise, okay? We have a time frame even per month, and we have super specific numbers. Like, it's not even saying like $5,000 every week. No, it's like 4,280 every single week. This is a specific promise, right? And of course, here we have a little bit of urgency. So this is the specific promise. But let's take a look at the unique mechanism, the secret sauce. Like, how is it possible that I can actually deliver this promise? So here we go, right? Take a look at this monstrous stack of papers. Boom. Buried in this 500-page legal document signed by President Trump himself hides a special loophole in the tax code that any American can take advantage of, allowing them to collect regular checks, right, $4,000, $6,000, $8,000 per month. And you can continue to collect checks every single month. I call them Trump bonus checks. So again, we have a specific promise, and the unique mechanism is a loophole in the tax code that Trump, in a 500-page legal document that President Trump has signed himself. Again, where in this promotion, which by the way, this in itself is produced millions of dollars in sales, right, by just selling financial newsletters, Where in this promotion do you see subscribe to our financial newsletter today so that you can receive tips? Apologize, my Romanian accent is coming through, but to receive tips on how to invest into stocks or whatever it is, right? Where in this promotion do you see it? I don't see it, right? So that is the whole point. And this doesn't only apply to financial newsletters. This applies to every single business. It applies especially for coaching. Like, how do you present yourself out there? And again, this is more or less selling like the same thing. It's a financial newsletter. But when you look at at these three, I'm not even going to go into this one, right, as well. But when you compare these three, 6 million company wins stunning verdict, right? And it's just the beginning. It's a microscopic device that could bring big pharma to its knees, right? Sparking a 700% revenue surge in the next 18 months, right? Disrupt every aspect of the $3 trillion healthcare industry. So, okay, this is a different promo, but when you compare this promo to this promo, I'm done with stocks, the unique algorithm, to this promo, Trump bonus checks. When you compare these three, they don't look anything like, they don't look the same. It's not the same thing. Like, they look completely different. Like, these are completely different. Like, there's nothing to compare about these. But essentially, they're selling the same thing. It's a financial newsletter, right? With tips on how to invest, right? How to make more money, how to invest in stocks or whatever it is. So fundamentally, they sell the same thing. But when you look at them, they look completely different. I cannot compare them. I cannot get this from anywhere else. I cannot shop around. I cannot get this from cheaper. This is the only place where I can get this from. I haven't seen anything like it. So when you compare these three, they don't look the same. That's the whole point, right? So the whole point is having unique promise and actually standing out, actually differentiating yourself, right? And knowing how to present yourself. So if this is an example with a financial newsletter from a billion-dollar company, well, just imagine what you can do with differentiating with your coaching as well. So that's pretty much it. And if you're going to do this, like I'm telling you, you are going to attract your ideal client. And like, first of all, you're going to know who your ideal client is, right? Because if you're just saying I'm a mindset coach, I'm a fitness coach, I'm a whatever, you don't even have an ideal client, right? Who's your ideal client? You can serve 100 different people at the same time. So that's pretty much the point, okay? So if you're a level 1, you need to go level 2 and then to level 3 ideally, right? If you're level 2, you need to go to level 3. But these are the different levels. This is what you need to do. And if you're going to be specific like this, right? If you're going to choose a specific market, you have a specific promise, like people, you're not going to get any more like, I want to think about an objection for the most part, right? That's caused by them like not seeing the value. You're not going to get any more like this is expensive value, right? You're not going to get any more like I'm going to look into other competitors or stuff like that. You are not going to get those objections anymore on sales calls. You're actually going to stand out, and it's going to be super simple for you to get clients because this company, is selling financial newsletters, and it's a billion-dollar company, right? You sell high-ticket coaching, you can become a multi-7-figure company if you do it right and if you actually know how to do it. So again, the problem is not the techniques, the strategies that you're using, the hacks that you're using to find your ideal clients. Is you're already getting in front of your right clients, but it's a matter of how you present yourself. How do you present yourself? How do you stand out? How do you differentiate? Especially in a crowded market where it's so easy to get in, because everyone nowadays can become a coach. Like, everyone can decide overnight, tomorrow I'm going to start my coaching business and I'm going to become a coach. So it is an industry where the barrier of entry is so low, and this is why there's a lot of competition. There are so many coaches. The more competition it is, right, the more competitors you have, the more you need to stand out and you need to differentiate yourself. That's the whole point. And if you like this video, smash the like button so YouTube can show you more videos like this one. Hopefully that you're going to like, you're going to enjoy watching. Subscribe to this channel. I'm going to post more videos just like this one with very bad intros and very, very boring intros as well. And that's pretty much it. If you're a coach, consultant, right, let me do my promo as well. If you're a coach, consultant, you want to get more clients, you want to get in front of the right people, guaranteed, I have a pretty cool offer in the description. If you want to check it out, click on it. If not, all good. I'm going to see you in the next video.